a tub of water and 300 mils, 400 mils of metho, and you're supposed to put a ton of salt in here. But I salted the hide thinking I was going to get to it straight away, and then I've ended up freezing the hide salted, which is a bit weird. So this is how I'm defrosting it. So it's already got a shit ton of salt on it. So by the time I mix that in there, it's kind of like having salt in there. Otherwise, if you've just frozen your hide and you wanted to defrost it, you'd have to add a ton of salt just to help that defrost process, so it's consistently defrosted before you start. And I haven't even fleshed this, so it's salted and not fleshed, which is a weird combo to think that it's frozen. But anyway, that's how it rolled, because that's what happened over. So that's all. It's not solid. It's been out for almost a day, but we'll defrost it properly now. All right, here it goes. So if you guys can see the salt on that, but plenty of salt. The parts that were rolled up the tightest, like in the middle of the hide, will be still the most frozen, of course. Just make sure you unkink those and give them a chance to fully defrost before working it, even if you're going to do the high pressure hose version of fleshing. Might as well throw that leftover salt in there, save it going in the garden. We'll throw a lid on that and come back in. Wasn't all that frozen. I'll probably come back in an hour or so, I reckon. All right, it's been a couple of hours. Just wanna just make sure you're making sure the liquid's all around the whole hide itself throughout the process. So I've done that 2 or 3 times in the last couple of hours, and it's fully defrosted now. It's a nice cooler day today, so it's it's not going to go off too quick, but it's ready to be fleshed in the full. So we'll get that going. And just because it's come out of the metho and the salt, just give it a quick rinse down with the hair side. The hide's been sitting in the pickle, and I just use garden rock to pin them down, so no parts just left up in the water like it was. And that pickling solution, I use 4 of these, 4 of those from Woolies with a bunch of cheap salt. I've got that one. That's not the salt that I use to salt the hide with. I've got flossing salt over there, flossy salt. But mate, $5 from Woolies and it's down the road. It's too easy. So anyway, 3 days later, I used 4 citric acids, whole tubs, 4 of those, and I think I've probably got close to 15 litres in there. whole heap of salt, probably best part of 2 kilos of salt. As long as it's acidic and it stays acidic, you'll be all right in your pickling process. It's now time to neutralize it. So I'm going to neutralize the water that it's in. And I'm going to discard that water to the sewer system. Once it's neutralized, it'll be all right, but part of me still doesn't want to tip it down the drain that's just there because I don't want it heading down to the ocean. So I'll neutralize that and tip it into either the toilet or the laundry sink that's plumbed to the sewer system. Then you do the same thing with the skin, into water, fresh water that has bicarb in it to bring it up from acidic to neutral. The next step after that will be to give it a good wash, and I'm just going to use dishwashing detergent. Give it a good thorough washing and a rinsing, and you rinse it in water and rinse it in water, so then it's as neutral as you can, clean as you can get it. And then we're going to throw it into the litre tanning formula solution. I just can't fault that. It makes a very, very at-home job very easy. So I just let the kids throw in the washing detergent, ended up with a bubble bath. That's probably a bit too much, by the way, but just means I've got one hell of a rinsing job to come after that. But wherever I can get the kids involved with anything outdoors, I will. So this is probably about 10 times too much on the detergent, but they're involved and they're having fun, so that's all that matters. All right, so I've rinsed out all the bubbles from the wash. Now I'm going to add the litres tanning formula. I'm going to follow the instructions on the back, it's a no-brainer, but I have halved everything because I don't have that many skins. So I've measured out 250 mils of tanning formula, plus a bit, you know, for good luck. But it's quite a beautiful green colour. And the full instructions called for double the amount of water, double the amount of tanning formula, and double the amount of salt. I've just got a kilo of salt. So give that a good rinse, make sure the salt's dissolved. If you can't see that, it's kind of a green colour in the black tub. Yeah. Hey, come here. Camera shy? She's not camera shy at all. Probably freaking out about the green water. Probably shouldn't let her drink it. But there's no more salt left in that. So, as with all the other processes, just make sure it's well and truly coated on all surfaces. And as it says on the pack, quite a few days. Thicker the skin, more the skins, you know, the longer it'll stay in there. But because I've got a long flat tub, I'm going to use a few of these rocks again to pin it down. So that, yeah, it's all submerged under the water. And give it a good stir like that, like how I put it in. At least once a day if you can, just to make sure it's thoroughly covered. And this is the exciting part, because it's the actual tanning. All the work to this point has probably been the hardest part of the work, but this is where the magic happens, thanks to the guys who make leaders, because it makes this job a whole bunch easier than what it could be traditionally. as you can see, very, very little stiffness. Very little stiffness. So soft. So good.